Well, my PC decides it wants to record. Anyway. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a video. Welcome to episode 2 of the Paigecast, is what I've officially called it. Last time it had no name, but officially this is the Paigecast. Today we are joined by a guy I've known for a good while, and most likely you'll probably know him as well. His name is Cmin2getcha Players, also known as Liam. If you would like to introduce yourself.
I've got a YouTube channel now, as everyone should know. Done a lot of different content around the years, mainly focusing on Minecraft, with stadiums, and then I'm kind of wanting to venture out. Currently got about 12,500 subscribers, so yeah, going strong, and it's very nice to be on the Paigecast.
Thank you. Oh, see, damn, Liam's using the new name. I was gonna. The original name was a joke, but then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go with it. Anyway, so
I
this,
like it.
obviously, as I said in the first episode, this is going to be a talk about random stuff to do with YouTube, gaming, stuff like that. But obviously, the main question we're going to start with for this, obviously, is, and I'm going to ask everyone I interview this, but what got you into content creation and YouTube? Like, I watched YouTubers a lot, and that's what got me into doing it. But how about you?
Yeah.
Who was your inspiration and your reason for the way you are now?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one because when I was younger, there was one thing I kept asking my mum and my dad, like what I wanted, and it was a video recorder. Because back in the day, mobile phones aren't what they used to be, where you can just, have a very flashy camera on a phone. It was all about just getting a camera and just recording yourself, really. And yeah, I loved creating content, and it's quite interesting because personally, if I'm on my personal life, I'm more of like an introverted kind of guy. But on camera, it might seem like I'm quite extroverted, like I've got a different personality. It kind of seems, and it kind of brings out the real version of me. The inspiration growing up for me, I used to watch a lot of Jacksepticeye when I was younger, and he used to do like 2 videos a day, and I was thinking that's crazy. I want to do something like that, and for a while, especially in COVID, I live streamed about three times a day, and that was crazy. But it's just, yeah, picking up that camera for the first time when I got it. I was just filming myself with me and my friends doing random stuff. It's not even on YouTube anymore because I deleted it a long time ago. Wish I still had it, but yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. And then I also used to watch back in the day. Stampy was a massive fan of Stampy back in the day. Used to watch a lot of his Lovely World videos, and that's kind of what got me into Minecraft as well. And ever since then, just been going how I am with 12,500 subscribers now, which is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm kind of the same. I kind of obviously, like, I knew YouTube. You probably won't know them, but I've been always a huge fan of, like, the Let's Play, like, content on YouTube. So the main ones I watched was Blitzwinger, who did a lot of, like, Marvel games and Lego games. Great guy. As well as, like, Ventura and Tail. Don't know if you've heard of those. They did, yeah, you have Gmod stuff and all that.
Yeah.
And they were what kind of got me into making content. So I started in 2014, and I've already told my story before, so a lot of people already know. But yeah, I love also you brought up Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye is another YouTuber that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, and I do have to admit this, I did find Jack from the PewDiePie shout out, which
Oh, really?
yeah, which it's still quite long ago, but it's quite a thing in his community where it's like, did you find him from him or through PewDiePie? And yeah, mine was the shout out.
It's quite crazy because in the end, they used to do a lot of content together afterwards as well. And
Yeah.
I remember Jacksepticeye mentioning it, and I think I must have been subscribed to him when he was around about 200k subscribers. So I was quite early on with Jacksepticeye. And well, another person who used to watch Minecraft related wise was a person called Skyler's Minecraft. I don't think he does it anymore. There was a lot of controversy around him in the end, but growing up, I used to watch a lot of him as well. But yeah, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, all big inspirations as well for sure.
Yeah, and also when you said Stampy was actually another reason why I also got into Minecraft. Him and DanTDM were like the big.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I had a weird thing where I didn't watch American Minecraft YouTubers. I don't have anything against Americans, but I was more into the British side of British YouTube, like LD Shadow Lady and Daddy DM and all that lot. Um, and to be honest, and I've kind of some of my viewers may know this, but I do have a bit of a bit of an addiction to actually building, a bit like you do with stadiums. I have a slight addiction to rebuilding his world.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally on my old PS3s, on my PS4, on my PS5, I literally have so many fucking worlds of just either half done rebuilds or just pretty much like rebuilding towns, rebuilding his funland. It's a weird addiction. It is. I have to admit.
It's quite crazy because there was a video. I'm not sure if it's on my Cmin2getcha, I guess, plays channel or my other channel, which is also called Cmin2getcha. And there's a video where I tried to make a series, and it was kind of like copying Stampy a little bit, where I had like the wall that Stampy has, where he writes down his subscribers' names. The Love Garden, I think it's called. I used to call it the awesome place to be, and I had a rooftop, and I just wrote loads of people's signs down. And with like Dan TDM as well, I watched a lot of Dan TDM back in his Minecraft days, where he used to do like the mod showcases and things like that, and they were absolute bangers. So and yeah, that doctor who was a villager, I can't remember his name
Dr.
now, but
Freyorus. I remember
yeah,
that because
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
ingrained in my memory. Jeez.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Grew up watching a lot of Minecraft YouTubers as well, which is kind of why I've got into it as well.
Yeah, one thing I don't know if you've ever seen the video. Have you ever seen the video with Dan TDM? Is like it's like the video is like Minecraft with my brother or something, and it's
Oh yeah,
basically just where he mirrors himself. But we were obviously, well, I was a child at the time, and I'm going to assume you were too. And I actually believed it was his actual brother. I didn't, because I was young, so I didn't really understand how mirror editing
yeah.
worked. So
No,
though to be honest, like back then, and this is why I think Minecraft YouTube, in my opinion, was peak back then. Because nowadays it's just speedrun, which as a speedrunner myself, I enjoy that content. But like back then, you had like Stampy was going to space, and he was just making like he rebuilt like or he basically built the moon that he did the video on, and then he was like with editing going to the moon. He was in a submarine. He like made it. He did a whole video on like time travel and stuff. Which that's why in my opinion, because they were actually really creative back then, like with editing and stuff. Nowadays, it's just we have SMP and we have really annoying screamy people on it, or it's can 500 or can like five of my friends beat me while I'm really good at cheating and Minecraft speedrunning and stuff like that. But then that's like Minecraft nowadays, but or a lot of the time it's just brain rot now. But I really do miss peak Minecraft YouTube where it was like, yeah, especially as a kid. Like nowadays, obviously I rewatch the videos. I'm interested about the editing, and I know how it's kind of done nowadays because obviously I'm 20. But back then, when I was like 9, 10, I was blown away. All right, my kid brain was like holy
yeah, no,
fuck.
I completely remember that Stampy Goes to Space, that whole section. Like I say, I don't know how old I was now. Then I was probably like 11, 12. I can't remember. Probably a bit older than that, but yeah, even still, like you say, blew my mind away. I was like, "Wow, you can go to space in Minecraft!" I never knew you could do that. And I tried to do it myself, and I just never
Yeah,
could go to space. And I was like, "What do you mean? How does Stampy do it? He's on an Xbox. I don't get it." But um, wow, they made some crazy content back then, and like you say, like there's nothing like it nowadays. It's
yeah.
completely changed. Content's a lot different surrounding Minecraft, but back then was peak. If you live through it, you know.
Yeah, I feel that I've said this before on stream and stuff like that with a few people I stream with, and I've said, God, I'm like, I feel bad for kids nowadays because they don't grow up like they can still watch it. It's still on YouTube for them to watch, but they don't have like peak Minecraft YouTube we had at the time, like
Yeah,
or I would say like peak YouTube that we had back then. I would say YouTube has changed a lot since then. Because like again, we had a lot like especially gaming at its peak. Because gaming nowadays, it's still the same, but it's more like I would say the big YouTubers now are like the Nick A30s of the world, and a lot of the time,
yeah,
especially with Nick A30, he was big, but he's got a lot bigger now because of a lot of the clip farming through TikTok from like him threatening to ban everyone.
oh yeah,
Um,
I see it all the time,
but
don't you?
and that's one of the reasons why I would say also TikTok is one of the biggest reasons why creators blow up as much as they do now. Is mostly clip farming, hence why Kai Cenat's made his whole clip farming house, which I cannot wait to see that fail, as they usually always do.
Oh, he's got
But
his
yeah,
streaming university as well, doesn't
oh
he? I've
gosh, yeah.
seen. God, I should
Oh,
have applied for it. God damn.
hell yeah, damn. But yeah, it was. I have respect for Kai, but content houses they always fail. Jesus Christ.
Oh, oh God, yeah,
Right.
all
I
the
would say,
time.
to be honest, one of my favorite ones that actually died down. My two favorite. The Hype House. Love when that died, and same with the Team 10 house.
Yeah, yeah.
After Jake Paul became a terrible boxer. But yeah.
Well, they used to be in like Nickelodeon or something, didn't they?
Oh
The
God,
Paul
yeah.
brothers
Oh, they. I
back in the
don't.
day.
I
I
hear how
never
much.
watched it, but I see like clip. Well, when you look at like, because I watch like a lot of YouTube documentary kind of things, where they talk about the history of this YouTuber or the history of that YouTuber and so on, and with Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I never actually knew that before YouTube that they were like kind of already in the celebrity world a little bit um,
Yeah.
with that, but yeah, it
Obviously,
was kind of cringe.
I've known the Logan Paul brothers since I've always known them as like viners and being really cringe and
Mm,
stuff like that. But it's weird to think if you told young me, and I've always been a wrestling fan as a kid, and if you told young me that Logan Paul would become a United States champ, I'd be like, "What championship
yeah,
is that?" Because at this time there wasn't that. But like, yeah, it's oh god, like it's weird. And if you told me like, oh, fucking Mike Tyson's gonna fight Jake Paul, I'd be like, you're sniffing farts. But YouTube it is a very weird place with a lot of very
well, yeah, YouTube is. I mean, it's absolutely massive now. I mean,
hmm
most people around the world, use YouTube. I'd say maybe not daily, but like it's very popular, and especially with influencer events that you wouldn't have thought, like YouTuber boxing, charity football matches that are going on. They make a hell of a lot of money from it as well.
yeah
So YouTube is just, it's absolutely blown up from what it used to be. And there's a lot more content creators trying to make it as well. So it's very competitive now as well. So you've got to be well. If you get some like I say, I think short form content like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, that kind of thing, it can absolutely blow you up. So that's why a lot of the clip farming happens as well, especially with like Nikki H30 and all that kind of all those kind of YouTubers.
yeah. Um, it's crazy. That's what I was thinking of them, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah. But obviously, I wish like we had like YouTube like it used to be. Oh yeah, I do remember what I was gonna say. Like I remember my parents. I remember when I told my people I was living with at the time that I wanted to start doing YouTube, but they didn't understand it. Like they thought and what for a while they were thinking, oh, because this was back when parents, and I think even nowadays they still think it, but like back then parents were like, why would you do YouTube? It's not going to do anything for you. It's a hobby, and I've always seen it as a hobby. But a lot of them
Yeah.
don't know that like you've got like KSI, who's nearly like Jimmy, Mr. Beast, who's about pretty much nearly a billionaire, and
Oh, it's crazy.
you've got
It's
like
crazy.
fucking KSI, who's a professional boxer and has his own products and stuff. Some that are
Singer.
questionable. Yeah,
Yeah.
singer. Only if he made good songs. So funny, well, fun little fact. When I came back from Scotland after I went to this speedrun event, oh god, there were these kids sat on the train. This is what I mean. YouTube has ruined children, and they were literally singing "Thick of It." I couldn't escape because I was sat on the same table seat, and they were literally just
Yeah.
singing "Thick of It," everybody. And I'm like, oh my god, I want to throw myself off this train, but I couldn't because I was halfway past Keighley. I was like, fuck's sake. But yeah, I swear the internet nowadays is it's just brain rot. Like obviously there was brain rot back in the day. Fred was like off, but Fred was good brain rot. Nowadays,
Bread. Yeah.
nowadays kids are just getting really excited because a toilet's threatening to take over the world.
Yeah. Well, like I say, YouTube has changed. I mean, massively, a lot. I mean, back in the day, like I say, there wasn't many people who were doing it like for a career to make a living. Back then, it was more. There wasn't a lot of money involved with YouTube back then. It was more people making content because they enjoyed it. It was a hobby, their passion. That's why they made such great content back in the day. Not saying there's not great content nowadays, but you can see the difference. You know, maybe it's nostalgia,
Mm.
but you know, back in the day, like Fred, Smosh, I mean, even old school PewDiePie, that kind of content was great, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, even going through the years, and you had Jacksepticeye, Stampy, and then now you got, you know, KSI, Logan Paul. I mean, they've been around for a while, but you know, even iShow Speed and Kai Cenat and that kind of thing. And streaming has absolutely popped off as well, compared to what it used to be. So
Yeah, as someone who's been streaming
yeah,
on
it's changed a
Twitch,
lot.
as someone who's been streaming on Twitch for about 6 years now, well, 6, 7 years now, it's been streaming. Like when I started 2019 was kind of getting big. It wasn't huge, but it was kind of getting there, if you get what I mean. But then like it's not as big as as it is nowadays. Like you've got feckin' ex New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani talking about Twitch, which is
Yeah,
weird, and then him being on it, and then you've got and it's the same as like a lot of things. Like streaming's big, podcasting is huge now. Like I don't want to get too political, but it's like, you know, Donald Trump was going on every single fucking podcast imaginable, you know, with like the Nelk
yeah,
boys and fucking Aiden Ross and Logan Paul and all that. And it's crazy of how much influence YouTube and the internet nowadays has, which is just because back in the day, it was, you know, people just taking videos of them at the zoo and posting it in 2005 and all that,
that
and
was the first
now
video, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah, and now it's just craziness. Like, uh,
Well, I think with Twitch, you know, you had I think maybe like what was it back when Fortnite kind of became like really popular back in the day when it started to become popular. You had streamers like Ninja and Tfue and all these kind of streamers gaining a lot of popularity, and I think what you know gave Twitch also a lot of popularity was when Ninja did a stream with Drake, and I think that broke records for viewerships.
was the most used stream
I
for a
think,
good few years.
yeah, yeah, it was, yeah. So, like I say, it's a lot of influence that these streamers have, and obviously they've dropped off now. Like, I don't think Ninja actually did YouTube at all, and then obviously did YouTube when he started getting popular on Twitch. So, there's a lot of influence that these streamers have now, and streaming is a massive thing. I mean, when I started doing it, probably when was it, like 2018 maybe I started properly doing it. It wasn't a thing. I mean, YouTube. I used to stream on YouTube. I mean, I still do stream on YouTube. Back then, you wouldn't get a lot of popularity from it because it's mainly about videos. But as it's gone on, I think YouTube. I mean, they're integrating a lot of new features into live streaming, which is what, you know, kind of similar to Twitch, with like the gifting memberships and memberships as a thing. I mean, it used to be called sponsorship back
Mm.
then as well. So and like platforms evolve, like Twitch, YouTube. I'm sure in the next 5 years there'll be a lot of new things and maybe a lot of new content creators that come out of the woods. But maybe it'll go back to the old days. You never know. Probably
God.
not. I think they're long gone now, aren't they?
Probably, yeah, but it would be hopefully like the next, like I do like the next generation of YouTube is quite interesting. You know, you've got the like, well, the Tommy Innett's still doing stuff and he's quite young, and then you've got obviously like other like quite young and still going creators, but even creators from like I'd say the late 2010s, like the Laser Beams of the world and the Lachlan's of the world, like I feel like they're going to be huge for good few
Yeah.
years. Like,
Well, well, with like, I mean, kind of going a little bit off topic here, but you know, with like Sidemen, for example, the Sidemen. Do you remember their videos back in the olden days? Well, I say olden days like it was 20 years ago, but back maybe like 7, 8 years ago, when they didn't have all the cameramen they have, you know, the high quality editing that they have, and you know, going abroad for every single video like they do nowadays. They do it every once and again, but I mean, those kind of videos, like you can see the evolution that the Sidemen have had from then to now, because now they've got like cameramen, bodyguards, they're flying all over the place. And I mean, obviously, budgets increase, they're making a lot of money from it. But I do kind of miss those older videos as well, where it's just them on their own with their
yeah, To be
You know what I mean?
honest, if you think, and I want to bring up Sidemen real quick, if you think about the Sidemen, it's crazy of how big, how much they've changed. Like they started as like pretty much a bit, kind of like a little bit like a small Vanos Gaming, slightly.
Mm.
Like they were a little group gaming channel, which then eventually went on to doing IRL stuff. But then if you look at them now, then they were just chilling, playing GTA with each other and stuff. But
Yeah.
then nowadays, like, wasn't it just last year? Like they literally, you're gonna know the answer to this because I can't remember, and you were there actually. They did like a football match at, was it Wembley or
Yeah.
something like that, which is it, like Wembley, which is I think one of the biggest stadiums in the entirety of like the world. I think it is or whatever.
It's one of them. It's one of them for
But
sure. Yeah.
that's but if like again if you think about it, like you've got like YouTubers, all right, like this. I mean, like I remember when I watched it, and then some people I knew, IRL who don't really watch YouTube, they knew about it happening, and they were like, God, it's weird how much YouTube's changed, where they were, people were just filming videos, or some people just completely
Yeah.
being like, how can it go from sitting at a computer, pressing record and gaming, or gaming and whatever, and then going straight to uh, playing at pretty much a sold out Wembley Stadium, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's like I say, the evolution. Like if you take Simon for example, of their channel and their popularity. I mean, back then obviously they were just starting out. Obviously, it had like very popular members in there, like Rota Shaw, KSI. They were probably and Vicstar. They're probably the most popular in that group starting out. So it did give it a bump. But I mean, everyone knows every name of the sidemen now, and it's not. I mean, playing at Wembley Stadium was fantastic. Year before that, they played at the London Stadium, which has about 60,000 capacities, and that was the Olympic Stadium that we used when we hosted the Olympics back in, was it 2012?
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, that they've look, they deserve it for sure. Like the
yeah,
work they put in, it's not as easy as people think. Just hitting record and that's it. That's the end of everything they need to do. That's it. They hit record, press end, and that's it. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with content creation as well. It is a lot of work, and you know what? Fair play to them for making it. And I love watching their content. So
yeah. Like other YouTubers that have changed a lot. Like you've got like if you look at like Mr. Beast, even though he's I would say semi controversial nowadays. Like if you look back at him, like he was. If you've watched from his first video was basically Saw in Minecraft, pretty much. But then and it was just him playing on a very crappy laptop with a very I don't know if you've seen the video. It's just very it's like Minecraft, but the computer can hardly run it, which is why I love that video. And if you
I've
look
not
at
seen
that,
that.
if you basically go to his channel and click on like oldest, you'll find it. It's so good. It's
Yeah.
like it's pretty much just Minecraft, but it just can't run well. So it's literally him
Oh
just kind
my
of
god.
lagging around the place. But if you look at that and then kind of scroll down his channel, and look at like his 2018 stuff, they were getting there. They were making money and they were doing small little stuff. But nowadays they're like, the CGI in the videos nowadays has just increased hugely. Like with the wide out shots, sometimes they'll blow up the the last filming set they
Yeah,
were
they
on
did.
and stuff, and they're also blowing
Yeah.
things up as well. It's
Well, I mean, with Mr. Beast, like, there's a lot of his videos where yeah, it's like we're gonna crush this Lamborghini into a shredder thing or whatever it was, and then like you think that's just the video, like that's all they're gonna do in the video. But before that, they're blowing up other houses, cars, trains running over cars and things like that. And it's
mm,
just, I mean, the amount of money that must go into each and every one of those things is crazy. I mean, he makes
yeah,
a lot of money, and then what he's done recently as well, where he's got an Amazon series, Beast Games, and for a YouTuber, you wouldn't think that you'd be signing with, Amazon, making a lot of money. I mean, I know he says he's probably made a loss on it, but I don't think he probably, I don't think he has, but um, it's just crazy what YouTube, like the opportunities that YouTube can open up for you.
yeah, and the amount like as well, and this is kind of why I like I want to kind of like my whole dreams of YouTube is to have kind of a semi big audience, but not as big as like Mr. Beast, not because if you I don't know if you've ever seen the Colin and Samir video. Of when he went to the American Dream Mall and did his whole
Oh yeah,
Beastburg thing, and you can see just fans completely all about the place. It was swarmed. Like that, yeah. I could not live Jimmy's life. The money would be great, but the fans just
Is it?
he had to
Yeah.
tint his windows because everyone kept looking in his car and stuff. And it's like, especially like same with I Show Speed. Like when he went to I can't remember what country it was, and he was in that he was like top floor of his place, and he looked out window and it was literally just a fucking street full of people. Same
Yeah.
with like Kai Cenat when he accidentally like caused that like that big New York issue he had, where he basically got people that were like climbing on cars and stuff like that. And I mean, that's what I mean. Like the amount of people that can people can like get from like content creation is crazy. Like there is a lot of luck and
Yeah.
hard work involved, but when you do it and you get that audience, it's just mad.
Well, I feel like that's like especially for the IRL YouTubers and streamers. I feel like because they're IRL, people see a lot more of their life and they want to be a lot more integrated in it rather than, if you see someone playing games, compared to real life, you kind of know where they are in real life and you want to go. I've seen a lot of streams of IRL streamers like I Show Speed and that kind of thing, where they would know where they are from seeing them in real life and kind of stalk them. Like I saw something recently of I Show Speed, and he was in a different country. I can't remember what country it was now, but he was in like a back of like an Uber or whatever it was, and there was literally someone on a motorbike like riding alongside him whilst he's live streaming, like banging on the window and all that. I'm like, I would hate that.
Yeah,
Like, I would hate that.
as someone who's been diagnosed with like anxiety issues, that's no.
Mhm.
I once passed out in a mall because there was in a shopping center because there was too many people in it. Like being surrounded
Yeah.
by people would, oh god, it would. I couldn't like.
But it's just like they're all strangers as well. Like you don't know them.
Mm,
They feel like they have a connection to you because they see you, like if you're doing like kind of almost daily content, they see you almost every day. They're invested into your life. Like you know a lot about them, whereas the streamers obviously they don't know you. They don't know what you're capable of. Could be dangerous. Could be a stalker. The world's a scary place sometimes, and honestly, if that were me, I would hate it. I'm happy with the audience I have right now, you know, and yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
yeah, you saying that just unlocked a memory. I remember seeing this clip of I don't so Ali A. There's this clip of Ali A. I don't know if you've seen it, where there's these kids who they got Ali A's house and they filmed him and you can hear him say, oh fuck off and all this, blah blah blah. And the thing that really annoyed me as well with that video is you had people in the comments saying and even some people trying to like get views by saying, "Oh, Ali A in real life, he's rude and mean and hates his fans." It's like, no, it's like imagine you are a
Oh,
YouTuber with like I don't know, it's like 20 million subs, something like that,
yeah.
and you're wanting to just chill at home, watch The Chase or whatever, and out of
Mm,
nowhere someone's knocking on your door or a few people are knocking on your door, and it's because you've got fans coming at your door. It's like no, like privacy is a thing which
yeah.
everyone has and should be able to have without having people. Just because you're a YouTuber doesn't mean that people should come to your house. It's like SS Snipewolf, she doesn't, just because she has enemies doesn't mean she can turn up at their house and stuff. It's
Well, I think that this is the problem with being famous because I don't feel like it's just locked away just with content creators. You see it a lot with celebrities as well. They're being swarmed with paparazzi, fans following them if they see them out, and maybe even following back to their homes. It's a big problem for being famous,
hmm.
and everyone wants to be famous. Like everyone's always had at least once in their life being like, oh, I wonder what it's like to be famous. Like there are amazing things. Like you got all this popularity, you got millions of followers, millions of subscribers. But there's a huge downsides that people might not know. Like obviously with that, and I saw like it was a podcast and KSI was on it, and it was like two truths and a lie. And what he said and it was a truth. What he said for one of the truths was he was attacked in Vegas about 8 years ago. So this was like before his boxing career and everything, and he was like somebody just came up to him, said, "Are you KSI?" And the KSI was like, "Yeah, I'm KSI." And then he just thought he'd want to take a picture of him. And this guy just like fully punched him in the stomach and started a brawl with him. And I was like, I never knew that. Apparently, there's a video out there about on it, but um, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great things about being popular, and everyone might say it's great having millions of followers and being so likable and so popular and so much money. But there is a lot of downsides that come with that for sure as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people also think that like wanting to be famous is like a newer thing, which it definitely isn't. Like it's been a
Mm.
thing since like I would say like since the early 40s or 50s, back when
Yeah.
like acting was in its prime and stuff, and you had these actors like back then who were huge. It's like I don't know if you ever played LA Noire or had seen any shows or films that took place during those times. But in LA Noire, there's literally a case file that literally involves this girl who runs away from home to because she wants to become a famous actress, and it just turns out that that's not the world she should be in because she was like 16 or something like that. And it's like it's a good dream, but it has its downsides, and that's kind
Yeah, I
of
mean,
you know
if people are chasing it and that's what they're passionate about and just want to be, like there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like encourage people to chase their dreams as long as they know what's on the other side of being famous as well. I mean, LA Noire. I mean, my friend mentioned me to play LA Noire. I have not played it, but
fantastic
it
game.
is. I put it on my wish list on PlayStation because my friend recommended it to me. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a go. But
Hmm.
I've not played it.
It's a fantastic game. I recommend play. I won't say much in case you obviously do buy it, but it's great. It's very long. It is very long. It's like five
Yeah.
cases, and they all have like inner chapters in them, which are all about an hour long each. But so it is a grind. It's about Red Dead 2 length, but yeah,
Oh
it's
god, yeah, I Red Dead 2. You know what? I bought that game. I don't know whenever it came out. I bought the game,
yeah.
and I don't know how far I got into it, but I just stopped playing. I was like, this game's way too long. There's other games I want to play. Please
Yeah,
move aside, and
thank
I've never gone back to it.
thankfully, most people didn't like COVID, but when COVID happened, I was like, and school closed, even though I had to technically still go every once in a while. Um, I was like, thank
Yeah,
God, because it gave me so much time to play more games, and I blasted through Red Dead 2 because I actually had time. Because back then, obviously, school 5 days a week, and then I only had 2 days, and 2 days enough time. But then I also had other games I want to play and stuff like that, and yeah, it was just too much time. But eventually, I found COVID gave me enough time to be able to beat Red Dead 2 and stuff like that. But yeah,
yeah. COVID was crazy.
yeah. But yeah, so anyway, back to Minecraft and stuff like that. Sorry to quickly change it over, but
All right.
obviously, you said Stampy, and I obviously a lot of my viewers know I'm a bit addicted to building Stampy's lovely world. But you're also, I would say, I'd say addicted to maybe to building stadiums. So we're gonna kind of slide into a little bit of a
Yeah.
question here. Why or how did you kind of get into building stadiums? What did you see that was like, I want to do that?
Well, the main reason that I went into building stadiums, I mean, I love playing Minecraft. Obviously, back in the day, I used to play Pocket Edition all the time. And when it came out on PS3, I was like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. I love it. And I used to just build a lot of random stuff. I think I got a video on my channel where it's just like a world full of random stuff. I built like pixelated swords and, you know, like all the weaponry basically, and a lot of buildings and stuff like that. But with the stadiums, I wanted to build a stadium in that world. And I was looking up on YouTube. It was like stadium tutorial Minecraft. Nothing. Like there was nothing. And I was like, you know what? This this could be an opportunity. My 14-year-old brain was like, this could be an opportunity here. Because I was like maybe 14, 15 when I started doing it. I've been doing it a very long time now. Um, and I downloaded World. I mean, I support Manchester United, so I thought I'd do Old Trafford first. So I downloaded a stadium Old Trafford on my Pocket Edition on my phone, and I was like, I'm gonna just build this one-to-one in my world. And then I was thinking, I could do that as a tutorial series for other people because there will be other people like me who was like searching on YouTube for a tutorial on a stadium, but there was none out there. So I was like, I'm just gonna help other people do the same as me. They can just follow along. I mean, back then, my tutorials were crap.
Mm.
Um, I would be editing horribly because I was 14, didn't know what I was doing. They got a lot of views, and I feel sorry for all the people for wasting their time. But that's why I redid the Old Trafford series later down the line. But I got into it because basically there was nothing out there when I started looking into it. So it was just an opportunity, and I was like, I have to take it.
Yeah, and since then I've noticed like you saying that people will come and there has been a lot of people who've done the exact same thing you've done because I've seen people in like comment sections like obviously I'm not like a huge fan of football so I've known you I kind of known you because of Minecraft you gave me my recommended one so I was just chilling it was like 2018 and I I've always enjoyed chatting with you, and sometimes you've probably seen me just chilling in your world, just being doing some daft stuff while you're building and all that, and yeah, and mine was kind of the same with how I kind of started building Stampy's world and stuff. Like I was a huge fan, watched him a lot, and then I kind of decided, right, fuck it, I wanna see if I can build it, like kind of have and that feeling. And then when I eventually built it, thankfully there was a player. Thankfully there was videos on how to do it by this guy called David Chapard now, or Darman, whatever his name was back then. And when I actually built the world, it felt crazy, feeling like I was actually in his world. It was nuts, and young me was like, holy, because this was before he actually released his world officially, because you can download
Yeah,
his world now and stuff like that. Um, and obviously the only way at the time to actually be able to play his world was either rebuild it yourself or go be a PC player and just download a world that someone else has remade and be lazy basically. Unlike now where you can just buy it for about £5 and play the games and all that and stuff like that. But yeah, but it's I'd say one of the best parts, especially about it, is I don't know if it's the same with you, but is the building. There's just something, don't know what it is. It's probably the same reason why I like simulator games. I find boring, what people probably class as boring, as fun, and I'm sure if you're the same way
yeah,
because like
yeah,
obviously like your builds are huge, and I'd say Stampy's world is quite big as well. But your stadiums, I've seen your world, it's fucking huge, and so like the amount of time you've spent doing those, there must be something about it that like even though some people could see it as like, God, this must be quite tedious building these stadiums all the time. There must be something that you find that like keeps you to it and really makes you get to the end of it.
yeah. Well, I'm kind of the same as you. It's like there's something about it. I feel like it stimulates my brain
Mm.
just doing it because it's something to fill the time as well. Because like with games, I feel like I get very bored very quickly with a game if I try a new game out. And with Minecraft, it was always kind of my safe place to do what I want because it is a sandbox. You can build whatever you want really. And my interests obviously with football. United was my first one. I support United, so that was enough motivation for me to finish it off. And also, I started live streaming because when I started doing it, it was videos. And when I started live streaming it, it really took it to the next level for me to like have motivation to finish it um, on YouTube, basically. Because I'll do it in my own time anyway. But because back then when I was doing it, they wouldn't get many views at all. Like I was still quite small. I probably had about 400 subscribers, if that. So it was like I say, very stimulating on the brain. And when I started doing live streaming and you interact with viewers and comments and you kind of building at the same time, it kind of feels like the buildings in the background and I'm just talking to people. That's probably why a lot of people just because I get loads of comments on my videos like shut up and get on with the build. I'm like, shush your mouth, all right? I can do what I fucking want. Um,
Yeah, I once saw a comment and it was great. I think you responded to that comment once. It was on, I think it was the Enfield one. Someone commented, and I was watching, someone commented saying, "Oh my God, why does he have to read chat? Can't he just get on with the build or something like that?" And it's like, yeah, but it's like that would be quite fucking boring. Because say you're doing a stadium build, then you look over at chat and people are typing, you're not saying anything. You're just like, right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, but you're not
yeah,
responding to anyone in chat. Like, yeah, for video, watching the live stream, watching the VOD as a video would make sense. But it's a fucking live stream, so obviously
yeah,
for the live viewers, it's gonna be fucking boring to watch him watch you kind of just fucking say, "Oh, do this, do that." unless obviously they're following along live. But you've got some people like me and other people who aren't really there much for the stadium, but some people are just there for you, who have probably known you from like Fortnite and other games that you've probably streamed. Like I know you've obviously the main two games that people have found you from is obviously Minecraft and Fortnite. But I'd say it's also not, but like with Minecraft, I wouldn't say it's obviously just the stadium builds that people also find you from. I would say like me, I'd say I found you because of Minecraft. There is still, I'd probably say it's still quite a high amount of people still find you from the stadiums, but and it's like obviously you could just be silent and just be like, oh yeah, we have to do this and then do this. So, but obviously you're live, so you have to talk to your viewers. Like I've seen some streamers where they'll put the chat in sub only mode even if they're not an affiliate, just so people won't talk. It's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of streaming if you're not gonna have a chat? And like, just either record a video and post it, or you just don't stream because that's one of the biggest selling points of streaming. That's why I love streaming is I love making content for people and making people laugh. Often I've got some clips where I'm like, I have a Jennifer Fallen Order clip where I say that I'm getting absolutely fucking destroyed by this character. I'm like, she's fucking me. And I just keep saying that all the time. And sometimes I'll be very fucking loud. Like some people love when I rage. Assassin's Creed 4, I did a playthrough of that. My viewers died when I was raging at that because like sometimes it gets so loud that you can't even hear me through this mic, and
Yeah,
it's like it's like even though I'm live, I still like to entertain people, and I'll read the chat at the same time. And sometimes I'll have people come in chat and I'll answer their questions, or sometimes if they put a comment that I don't really understand, I'll try and make a joke about it and see if they can at least explain while also making a joke, entertain them. But yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's two sets of audience, I guess, that obviously come to watch the stadiums or just the live streams, the videos as they'll be published afterwards. You got the people who, if it's a stadium's video, that they only care about the stadium. They don't care about me or talking, and that's fine. Like I get it. People want to follow tutorial, and then there's the other people set of viewers that come because maybe they might like the stadium building. Um, they might not be building it themselves. They come because they want to interact with the channel, with myself, and not only just with myself, but other people that come onto the live chat as well. Because there's a lot of friendship groups that have been made from me live streaming, and like other communities that have been built from it as well. So, and I don't think I would have done as many stadiums as much as people may hate that I talk to chat if they're building a stadium. There's probably a chance that I wouldn't have even done that stadium if it wasn't for me live streaming it
Hmm.
in the first place, because that's what kind of motivates me. I mean, as the years have gone on, and I am ending the stadium builds now, as the years have gone on doing the stadiums, as much as I love doing it, it is repetitive and it can be quite boring to do for me now. And what kind of motivates me to do it is interacting with the live chat, hitting that go live button. Because there's just something else when you have a community and that feeling of having a community and interacting with everybody. And I would just find it so rude, personally, if I'm just live streaming and I'm not talking to the people who give their time to watch the live stream in the first place. And I would just personally find it rude. And I would hate watching a streamer who does that as well.
Hmm.
So it's just about having respect to the community, because it is not an easy thing to build that. So you got to hold on to it whilst you have one. That's what I
Yeah,
would say.
and that's one thing I really enjoyed. Like I like that you brought up was that people have made, and I would say a lot of people have made friends and gone to other community, or have also like joined you in other communities, and
Mm.
a lot from you because like I've met a lot of people from your community like Reese and Ronnie and Senan. Senan's really been active in my chat a lot recently, and a lot of those people. And I've also I became friends and they've some of you might actually not know, but she is in your server. There's a streamer who I actually do plan on having a guest at some point called Sneven, who she a lot like Ronnie and Reese and all that are very active in her community too. And it's and it's kind of crazy of how like your community is also kind of continued in other people's communities, which is
Yeah.
something that's crazy and I find really cool. And obviously, and I found a lot obviously of again like a lot of people I've got along with in your community, and I've played Fortnite with a lot of your community before, and And not only that, like when you obviously with chat, like I've seen you answer people's questions about like because obviously it's like sometimes if like sometimes I get lost in a like a tutorial and I'm like, fuck, let me ask the person who made it instead of sending a comment, which will probably get a response in like the next day or 2 weeks, whenever the person's actually active on YouTube. Um, you know, in a live chat, you can simply be like, "Oh, I messed up at this section of the stadium, or whatever," and blah blah, and then you can answer that live, and it's like I would say it's a lot easier. And a lot of times, what I've seen, some people have said, "How long is this?" or "How long is this?" and then you've been like, "Oh, you have to do this and this," or someone said, "Oh, I've done exactly this and this, but somehow it's gone wrong," and then you can be like, "Oh yeah, because you did this and this, that's how it went wrong." And it's like it's a lot easier, using a chat as well to help. Get comment section as well, but it just depends on when the creative is active, to actually get a response back. It's a lot easier. It's like a live chat it's like when you try to talk to a customer service, and you'd rather use a live chat because it's instant instead of sending an email to them and then they get response back in a week when you've already found out what the problem was, or you don't care about it anymore. And it's like, I'd say a live chat is a lot better to use, especially with the tutorial, to learn about what you've done wrong, or how you've fucked up or whatever, and have that creator at least tell you live instead of weeks ahead or a few days ahead or whatever. If you get what I mean. You muted yourself, I think. You're still muted, I think. There you go. Oh, your audio was back for a second. That.
Sure?
Hang on
I've got a
again.
green thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my mic does that sometimes. I just have to unplug it and replug it. Going back to what you were talking about with the community, about communities going into other communities and kind of exploring that together. Um, there's some people that I know. I mean, I don't know personally, but I know from the chat that have been in a relationship with each other because they met from my channel as well, and they live quite close together, and they met up and they're in a relationship. I think they've been in it for years now, and I just find that crazy to me as well. Like, if it weren't for me live streaming on a particular day and people not coming in, it changes some people's lives quite effectively. And I just think that's crazy as well. And then, like you say, with the live chat element, there are a lot. I get a lot of comments from various different videos on the streams that I've done about people asking me, or like they've gone wrong in a particular section, and by the time I reply, it could be weeks away, because there's a lot of comments I get as well where people just timestamp in a video. So I get loads of spam notifications of people putting timestamps in, which is, they can do that. I don't really care. But some comments do get lost through that as well, because I'll just miss them because there's loads of timestamps constantly. And if people come in to the live stream and tell me their problem, like, I can obviously help them straight away. Or even if they're in the Discord server, some people send me private messages and I can help them out. But there's a lot of people that want me to physically go onto their world and sort their problem for them. And I've had so many people ask me this on streams, in comments, on private messages, on Discord, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, if I help one person out, then I'll have to help this person out, and then this person out, and this person out, and I just don't have the time to do that. So
yeah, that's one of the biggest problems, especially when you've got a bit of a community, because it's like the same reason why a lot of YouTubers don't add people.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you add one person and play with that person, it's gonna be like, well, if I've played with that person, you're then gonna all play, and then you've got to like try and play with so many people, which is why in my like I at least why like custom matchmaking, I'd say, is one of the best way, like Fortnite does, which I know you
Yeah.
used to back in the day, which. Not gonna lie, I do miss it a little bit, but it's like obviously like people got to rather randomly join you, and I actually do like how you kind of do how you. I don't think you play Fortnite anymore, but like kind of how you did Fortnite, which was like, all right, I'll add you, and I'll open my lobby up. Whoever randomly joins, I'll play with them for a few matches, and then we'll do it like that. But and
Yeah.
my favorite part of that was the moment that I was in a lobby with your dad. Your dad joined you, and I was like, "Oh, I'll see you in there, Glenn." And then out of nowhere, bam! I was there, and he was like, "For fuck's sake!"
Yeah, I
But
feel like I wouldn't even be live, and you'd be in a lobby and my dad's like, "Come play," and I'm like, "I can't play," and you're in there with him and
oh,
everything. Like, what?
I had, I had a weird thing where I no, it's not weird, but I had a bit. So I met your parents through Ben. I was playing with them, and then I joined, and they didn't care. They just let me play with them. I was like, okay, fuck, fuck it, I'll play with them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was so worried that you would have an issue with it. So I was like, fine. I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, but what if Liam doesn't like it? And he's like, oh, well, can you stop playing with my parents, please? I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But then when I remember one day, I think I asked you, and you were like, no, it's fine, it's chill. I don't care. It's your choice. You play with them. I was like, holy shit. And then it
yeah.
became
I'm
quite
honestly
a,
not.
it
I'm not
became,
bothered.
and it became quite a running joke. I actually have a TikTok where I donate it to you and say, what was it? It was like playing something about playing with your parents, lol, or whatever. Oh, I stole your parents because I was playing with them quite often, and then it got to a joke as well where I started just saying, "Oh, I'm part of the family now," and all this,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was obviously I don't think they play much Fortnite anymore, but like it was yeah, that was one of my favorite things was I kept making jokes saying, "Oh, guess I'm page 40 now" or whatever, and it was
yeah. No, they don't play Fortnite anymore.
yeah,
They've moved on from that. They're doing their own thing now. But yeah, I remember that back in the day.
yeah,
I
that
just
was classic.
because I used to live obviously back then. I used to live with them. And I'd just be like, I'll be upstairs in my room doing my own thing. I'll come down and I go see what my dad's doing, and he's in a lobby with you, and I'm like, what? I'm like, fair enough. You know what? If you want, you do your own thing. You do your own thing.
Yeah, it was. Oh god, we had some interesting times. Like I remember I remember. So your mum was actually really good at Save the World, which blew my mind. So I remember it
Yeah,
got to the point where we were in a lobby, and out of nowhere, it was just me, your mum, and your dad. And your mum would teach me how to play fucking Save the World. I was like, and she was like, no, I was like, right. So what does this do? And your mum's like, oh, it does this, and then you have to get this. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, you know. And I was basically, you know, your mother was the master, and I was the Padawan at the time, and it was so funny. And then also, not only that, like, there's been a few times as well when I've been playing with them, then you've joined for a few events, like when the end event happened, and then we had, like, me, you, Sophie, and everyone, and R6, and your parents, and, like, me. And we all just watched the end event together. It was so funny.
yeah. I know. I kind of miss those days, but
Mm. Things do change, unfortunately, which
they
is
do.
yeah.
Life moves on.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like when I'm like obviously I remember when you talk about community. I remember when you used to do custom matchmaking a lot back in the day, and that kind of went on
Yeah,
to. I'm not gonna say name a few people because there's some people in here that I don't want to name, but that went on to like Ben, who then started doing his own, um, and then Steve did his own, and I met Steve through you, and then I played games with Steve, and I get along with Steve quite well actually, even nowadays. For some reason, I'm still a mod of Ben. He doesn't stream
oh yeah,
anymore, but yeah, he's well best is it best YouTube Shorts something like he's called it now.
yeah. He's really.
Um,
Oh,
but
I
yeah,
hate what he's done,
I
but yeah,
think, but yeah, what's it called? Yeah, he modded me for some reason. I was like, okay, okay, I'll accept that. And then I was in his chat. I think it was like 2 years ago. I think I'm still a mod now, but he doesn't stream anymore. And out of nowhere, I was like, I still had that like it was like, on YouTube. It's like a blue screw thingy in it.
yeah,
And I was like, okay, I guess I'm still a moderator. You know, I was very rarely active in his channel, but I was like, okay, fuck, I'll accept that. But yeah, like I still watch sometimes. I'll go to your channel because obviously you mostly just kind of put your streams on a playlist now and kind of unlist them. And
yeah,
I'll go down. I'll watch the times that I played with you, and I do want to bring this up. And I nothing against the kid. I'm not bullying any children here, but I don't know if you remember it,
right.
and you probably do. There was this one moment we were playing Fortnite. It was back in Chapter 3, Season 1, so this was a good while ago now.
Oh wow, yeah,
This was just when Tilted had come out. We were playing squads, and there was this one kid. We're in the basketball court of it, and this kid who was like, "Oh, this is such a good day. You know, I get to play with my favorite YouTuber." And I love in that you can see your grin slightly get higher because because that must have been
yeah.
great for you to hear.
I mean, I don't know if I'm way too humble to accept that I'm people's favorite YouTuber.
Mm,
Because I'm like, look, there's so many other great YouTubers out there. It can't be me. I mean, I'm nothing special over here.
yeah,
But obviously hearing that, it does mean a lot because that's kind of the point of doing YouTube for me is to make other people happy, basically. Um, and to I've heard lots of stories. I mean, obviously that I do remember that part with that kid. I mean, I feel like there's a few other times when that's happened as well, when people come in the lobby and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm playing with Cmin2getcha," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, like
I'm just a normal guy, but yeah."
yeah, like because I feel like especially if it's like someone I've watched for a while, like being like for, obviously when I join you, it's still quite fun playing with you because you're a pretty good Fortnite player. I'm not gonna lie, but
I try,
but
I try.
but but what's it called? But because I've played with you quite when I first joined you, I was like, holy shit! Because I still remember the day I first joined you. It was Chapter 1, Season 7. I've got a good memory. You probably don't remember it, but
No,
um,
probably not. I don't know.
the stream's still up, thank God. But anyway, what's it called? But I joined you. I didn't use a mic or anything, but because I played with you for so long, and because I've played with you off camera and on camera, I'm kind of used to playing with you. So I don't start being like, "Oh my God, it's Mom, get the camera! Holy shit, document it!" Like because I've played with you so often, I'm quite used to it. And I'd say not to humble you, but I'd say you are probably like top 10 one of the YouTubers that I enjoy the most, and that is a long list of
Oh, thank
people.
you.
But yeah, and one of my favorite times, I don't know if you remember this. This is going back a while now. Actually, you did run spot. You actually did a thingy. There was a really weird picture of you that I found on the internet where you're
Oh
sat back
no.
in a chair and you're kind of just like staring at the camera with a bit of a weird face, and I was like, I can meme that. So I used that picture, and you can find it in your Discord. It was one with you and Donald Trump where I put you over Kim Jong Un.
Oh
And that
my
that
god.
one picture I memed so many times. I would like screenshot you and hide you in somewhere, and I did this all on like a tablet and everything. And I'd send you on Discord, and you'd look to it on stream. It was so fun. There's so many times I'd fuck you on stream, but there was also one time I do remember this. This was hilarious. There is still a clip on. There's still a video years ago, 2019. This was. I made, and the website's not up. I took it down, but I made a website for you. I don't know if you remember it,
No way.
but
No,
that
I don't
was
remember.
I did. And if I find it, I'll send you the link to it so you can rewatch it. Um, but it was so because so basically I make a website for you. I took it down eventually because they want me to start paying for it. I'm like, I love
Well,
Liam, but not that much.
he's not worth that.
No, but I basically to be honest, it took me like good 5 minutes to set up. It was like quick. It was just pretty much a website that basically just explains you. It wasn't anything like super special or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I literally you react to it on stream, and the smile and laughter on your face, and I'm assuming you must have been like, "That's crazy that someone took time out of their life to try and actually make a website that like
Yeah, yeah,
actually
cool.
worked on a browser." Obviously, unfortunately, it's not there anymore. I did take it down, so if you try and search up the link, it won't work.
Boo. Boo.
Liam, I love you. You're great, but I don't love you that much. Okay, it was
I feel hurt now.
they were trying to charge me like 30 quid to keep it for a year. Fuck that. I was like I
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
15 at the time. I didn't have that money. What the fuck? But it was yeah. That is still one of my favorites. There was a lot of moments I'd say that we had that you had on stream, where it was really funny. And we feel sometimes I remember there was one time as well. You were in the room, so you won't remember this at all. Your mate, I did cheat once in one of your customs, so sue me. But there was a glitch where you couldn't have mechs. This was back in season 10, so this was mech time. This was,
Oh
and
yeah, I remember them.
you
Yeah.
couldn't have mechs in rift zones. However, there was a glitch where you could abuse to actually get a mech into a rift zone, and this was in Tilted Town. All right, the first ever time they technically removed building. So your mate was in Tilted Town, chilling, collecting stuff, being a cowboy, and out of nowhere, mech comes out of fucking nowhere. I'm glitching that mech into the rift zone. I slaughter your friend. He is fucking losing his mind.
Wow. Right. All right. I guess I'll have to do a Nick AH30 and ban you now. That
But it
is
was
completely
that
unacceptable.
it was so good. I was like, I was gonna try and do it to you, but I was like, fuck. And I was on mobile as well, which must have pissed off which he wouldn't have known about. But if I
Oh
told him, it would
no
have pissed him
way.
off so much.
No
But
way.
to be honest, blame Laserbeam. He's the one who technically taught me how to do it. He made a video on pretty much him doing it. Well, technically, he made a video about it where I learned about it. I then went to Glitch King, who actually had a video on how to do it, and then I did it because Laserbeam didn't want to do it because he was scared of about getting banned. So
Well, he did it in a custom matchmaking, so you know what? no one's going to ban you there. So
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
got away
say.
with it. You got away with it. You got away with it. But
Yeah, it
if I
was.
ever do another custom matchmaking, don't find any other loopholes,
Oh,
or I'll
fuck.
have
I
to do
don't
an
think,
88.
to be honest, I don't think there is any anymore. I was one of my, there was, I'm not, I don't think, fuck it, I kind of slip in this question. I guess we're talking about Fortnite. This isn't actually on my list, but I'll ask it. What's your opinion on, like, Fortnite now? I'm assuming you kind of know, you don't play it, but I'm assuming you follow the news and stuff like that probably a little bit.
I mean, I honestly, I don't play Fortnite anymore. I don't know when the last time I played Fortnite is. I couldn't even recall it. And
Mm,
even if I do go on Fortnite now, it's kind of, I mean, you know, kind of similar to stadiums, really. I mean, I used to play Roblox all the time when I was a kid, and I used to love doing the tycoons. So, I mean, even now, if I go on Fortnite, I'll try and look for a tycoon map because it just stimulates my brain. But I don't really play the main Fortnite anymore.
mm.
Haven't for a very long time. It's why obviously I don't stream it or anything like that. It's kind of for me. It's too sweaty for me now. Even when I'm playing no build, which I rarely play build, but when I play no build, I, I feel like I'm a decent player, but I just feel like I come against sweats all the time. Like I can't win. I'm like,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't have to win every game, obviously. Still fun, but and there's a lot more. There's a lot of stuff. If I go into Fortnite now, I won't know much about what's going on in the season, what the story is, or anything like that. So it's kind of just, yeah, I find it difficult to go back to Fortnite at the moment. Really.
yeah. I think thankfully they did learn that because obviously, pretty much nowadays they've obviously got that festival mode and they also have their
Mm.
Lego mode and stuff, which I like. I've always been a huge fan of Guitar Hero and Lego games, but and like currently there's a mode called OG, which is basically just OG Chapter One.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is it's still fucking sweaty. And the
Yeah.
biggest problem as well, and I would probably say with no build, is you've got people like there's not too much of a difference from like say COD gameplay and Fortnite gameplay apart from third and first person. But like people, especially with sliding and all that, COD players are just going to use
Mm.
the whole sliding and spam crouching and all that to like have an advantage. Like I would say even no build sweatier nowadays. I would say no build sweatier than build nowadays. But
Yeah.
obviously Fortnite, like I do like at the moment they're doing like a whole Star Wars season, which I'm really liking at the moment. I'm loving it like racist AI Darth Vader, but fuck
I've seen that. I've seen that.
yeah. But like fucking Fortnite, it's again like Minecraft YouTube better when it was better when it back in the day than nowadays. I have to say.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I used to love playing it. I used to when I was at sixth form. When I had like a gap in the day, you could go home and then you could come back. We'd go back to my mate's house who didn't live far from the sixth form. We'd just literally play a couple games of Fortnite and then just go back. Used to love playing it. Obviously, did a lot of streams on it. I really enjoyed the matchmaking. I can't remember the most amount of people we got into that. It was probably maybe 50 the most, and I feel like that's insane.
mm.
But obviously, sometimes I would get stream snipes in it, so I like brought in where I would hide where I'm landing and everything like that.
Oh, and I remember that
Um,
classic. I remember that classic animation you used to have where it was like the map, and you used to have like it was all black, but you'd have like the little sniper icon that
yeah,
would go
yeah,
around like a bit like a Windows screen. And I remember
yeah,
that old one. It was like it used to have text saying "No stream snapping." I'm like, God, he's really gone all out for this one now, hasn't
yeah.
he?
No,
Fuck.
no. Honestly, that one with the sniper scope with the black screen, my dad made that.
Did
My
he?
dad made that. Yeah, he was like, because I had that old no stream sniping thing, and my dad was like, you know what, Liam, I could do a better one than that. I'm like, what is it then, Dad? What is it? And that's when he created that
Hmm.
sniper one. I was like, that's sick. I've got to use that.
Oh, yeah, talking about overlays. This also isn't a question, but I forgot to add it. Um, Obviously I've been watching you since back when you streamed through the PS4,
Yeah.
and then eventually you went to PC. Like how when did you eventually buy a PC, and did how did you like learn OBS, or have you always kind of known OBS even before you got PC and stuff like
Yeah. Well, obviously, I used to stream through PlayStation 4, and when I was doing that, I for the background music, I had like a soundbar, and I'd connect my phone to Bluetooth, and I kind of played a non-copyrighted music through my speakers to get it onto the stream. I mean, that was insane back then. And but with streaming through the PlayStation, it was great because on PlayStation 4 there's a feature called Live from PlayStation,
Hmm.
and I used to get a lot of viewers just coming in through Live from PlayStation. Obviously, that would disappear as soon as I started live streaming on PC. I was aware of that. I mean, I think on PlayStation 4 I used to average around 30 to 40 live people watching. But when I got a PC, I didn't buy a pre-built PC. It was actually built by my friend because he was like a big PC guy, and like so we just bought loads of individual parts, and then for Christmas, I think it's Christmas 2018. So how long have I? There's no way. I've still got that PC. I still use it right now. I'm using it right now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've upgraded a few parts in it, but it might have been Christmas 2018 or
I think it was.
2019.
Yeah,
I think it's 2018.
I think it was roughly 2018 about that.
I can't remember, but it might have been 2019. But yeah, it was a pre. We built it ourselves, so bought all of the individual parts, and for Christmas, my mum and dad like basically paid for the most expensive parts, like the GPU and the CPU and the graphic. Obviously, graphics cards are GPU, but that kind of thing. Just saying the same thing twice. But they basically bought the most expensive things of the PC, and then my mate came around because he's Serbian, so he. I mean, he's not my mate anymore, but when he was, he came around. He doesn't celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day. I think they celebrated in January or something like that. Don't cancel me if that's wrong. But he came around on Christmas Day and just built it for me, and I was like, "This is sick." Booted up the PC. I was like so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, it's the best day of my life!" And then I knew what OBS was. I've obviously never used it before, so I looked on YouTube for tutorials on like how to set up OBS with the best settings. What overlays should you have? You know, like alerts, because alerts was a whole new thing to me as well. I didn't know how to set that up. And I think I started with I started with Streamlabs OBS. Because you had OBS and you had Streamlabs OBS. Because Streamlabs OBS was the most user friendly. You could just import widgets and overlays and things like that directly from Streamlabs into OBS, so you didn't have to like download your own files and put them in there and stuff like that.
It literally
And
had it literally had like a full shop you could look at with stuff you could pay for, have premium for it, or you could legitimately just get tons of free ones. And they literally all you had to do is click import, go to your OBS, click on it was like just a list of all the overlays, and just click on it, and it would like instantly show up as an overlay. Which
yeah, it was so easy. It was so easy. It was the greatest thing. And then Streamlabs as well. I think it was OBS wasn't integrated fully with like platforms like YouTube, Twitch, you know, that kind of thing. So you'd have to get the stream key and then set up the stream manually and that kind of thing. But with Streamlabs OBS, you could integrate it with YouTube, so you could literally just press go live and it go live. And it was great. And it really helped me start out with PC OBS because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I used that for quite a while. I think maybe until 2021. And then from 2021 onwards, I started using the Stream Elements OBS because I found that with Streamlabs OBS, it did take quite maybe a minute and a half to load up properly. And I was like, the wait used to annoy the living hell out of me. I couldn't like this is taking so long. I just want to load up straight away. And with normal OBS, it basically loads up pretty much almost instantly. And Stream Elements OBS was basically normal OBS with a few things you could add on into it. So I still use Stream Elements OBS to this day. They've recently introduced this year the multi-streaming in Stream Elements OBS. So you don't have to use Restream. So I used to use Restream when I used to do that. And I hated it because they used to put in a description of your video used with Restream, and even though I wanted to take it off, you'd have to do it manually, and I'm like, I hate it. It's stupid. I just wanted to not be there because they make you pay for their premium. But with the Stream Elements OBS that they've done recently with the multi-streaming, it's great because you can stream to TikTok. It's how I got access to TikTok Live because I didn't have access to it before because I didn't meet the requirements, and I was like, this is perfect. And ever since then, the overlay pack that I use now, bought it for like 10 quid or something like that. And I think it's really cool because it's all animated and things like that. So
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. My
did it take a
TikTok is
while?
weird with that one because I don't even meet the requirements. I was fucking playing Minecraft now out of nowhere. Bing, you've got live.
Yeah,
You can go live now. I'm like, the fuck? It was just random. I didn't even do
yeah,
anything to get it. I didn't even apply or anything. It literally like, congratulations. For no reason, we're just gonna give you live, and I'm like, the fuck. So I tested if it worked. I thought it was just a glitch. I actually was live, and I had people come in. No one commented, but I had people come in and like it, and I was
yeah.
like, how am I gonna do it? But yeah, that was a weird day for me. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's weird, but how they do the requirements. I think you need at least 1,000 followers,
Mm,
and I don't know. There's probably more requirements as well. But Stream Elements was giving you access to it from uh, just having Stream Elements OBS. So that's how I got it, and yeah, it's pretty good.
Now, one thing I want to bring up as well, and this is mostly the kind of thing I only care about when I look at Daz games, because he's moved house quite a lot. Now, I wouldn't say you've
Yeah,
moved house often, but I'd say you moved house quite a bit. And I've noticed your background has changed quite often. We've gone
yeah,
from headboard Liam to red background Liam to
yeah,
the
yeah,
most well known one, which was pretty much half corner of the room Liam, to
yeah,
then
yeah,
double bed to then just depression Manchester Grey Wall Liam to double
yeah,
bed Liam
yeah.
to now.
Uh,
Well, then to couch and then to now. So,
I've had a lot of different. Yeah, I've moved so many times. So,
mm,
um, obviously, when I first got my PC, going back to that, I was thinking, what do I need for my background? I don't want it to be my bed anymore because obviously, when I was on my PlayStation, I was on my TV, and obviously, my bed was just there. So I was like, well, I don't want it to be my bed anymore. So I was thinking, I need something cool. I mean, my room was kind of small; it wasn't anything too big. So I used my curtain, and my curtain was red where my window was. So I was like, you know what? I'll just roll down the window, roll down the curtain for the window, and I'll just use that as the background. And I thought it looked great. But for the spatial, like the space in the room was horrible. Like it was,
mm,
you could barely walk around in the room because my desk was there, my bed was there. There was like barely any walking space for that. So I then rearranged my room again. I bought a corner desk because I was working at Primark at the time, so I was making some money there. Um, and then I rearranged the room again. So I moved where my bed was, made the corner desk where my TV used to be when I was streaming on PlayStation. And then I used that for years
mm.
before I then went to uni. So obviously I moved because I went to uni. I was living on my own for the first time. And I didn't really have a lot to play with because the desk was where it was. The background was what it was. I couldn't really do much about it. From there, I moved back to my old house in the summer, and my brother had taken my old room, so I had to take his room. And you could see the bunk bed in the background, everything like that. It was a horrible, horrible background. And then from there, I moved back up north, not in Manchester, but I mean, it was in Doncaster. So that was my first like flat on my
Mm.
own, and created that background as you knew it. And then I moved
Yeah,
again,
that was the
and
bed one,
then
wasn't it? That's just the double bed one you had behind you, I believe.
uh
Unless I'm,
no, I had I just had a door and a wall behind me
was this
on
one?
that one.
No, the
Yeah.
one when you moved to Doncaster. Like, my memories might be rough here, but I'm sure there was like something behind it. Because I remember that was during when we played. Well, no, because I remember we were playing Fortnite, and your dad were talking about like legally getting the Arrow TV show and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah,
I have to say legal because I'm on YouTube, but you know.
yeah. No, it is. And then after that, honestly, I moved every 6 months. So I moved somewhere,
Hmm.
and I lived there for 6 months. And I moved again, lived there for another 6 months, and then I moved again to where I am now. And I've been living here 8 months now, 9 months, and I'm hoping to not move. I've had there was reasons why I had to move before, but I'm hoping now I'm not having to move. I'm hoping this is
Yeah.
where I'm just gonna be.
I feel like that's one of the main things when you're a YouTuber is the background will always change. Yeah, YouTube is
Yeah,
never
it's inevitable. It's
like
inevitable.
yeah, like obviously I've been doing YouTube for nearly 9 years, nearly 10, 11 years, or something like that. And my background's changed. Like the main background I always had for a good while was back wall with a huge Marvel wallpaper on it because
Yeah.
I was a Marvel fan at the time, still am. Then we went to moving, and then I went to I was living at my parents' house. This was when I had shit Wi-Fi, so I couldn't really stream. So this was more video me, because they live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Why? I don't know. But there was like actually that changed twice because I was one really close to the window and then I was at the end of the desk. And it was that changed twice and there was always my bed behind me and like a very long wall with a little board on it. But now we're here. I actually had to move my desk because my chair broke, so I am currently sitting on my bed. However, we do have currently what I like to call broken wall era. So
Yeah.
don't ask how that happened because it was not a fit of rage. However, I do need to get it replastered. It's an old
I
building,
was
so
I was thinking, I was like, what is that?
it
But
is a broken wall. These are the wood thing. I don't know what these do, but they're here. It needs replastering, but
yeah,
I'm too fucking lazy to call someone, and it's not doing anything. Like this is coming apart, but like if I just kind of put my body like this and just kind of look at you like this, you can't really
no
see
one
it
knows.
apart from
No one
that. But
knows.
uh, it's just I'm too fucking lazy to get it replasted, so fuck it. It's fine. Just the only thing that happens
Ah,
is it does let bees into my room, so you know. But anyway,
be
um,
careful with that one.
oh, see, that's why you're YouTube with 12,000 subscribers. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
So yeah. Anyway, back to let's talk about stadiums again. And kind of quickly slide into the next. That's so cringe, but I'll keep it in anyway. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what what was the reason why you ended after so many years? 'Cause you've been doing this for about like I'd say I think the stadiums you've been doing for about 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that.
Uh,
What
yeah.
was the reason? Because I think is it like one stadium left, and the minute you finish that stadium, bam, all that series is done, complete, gonzo. What was the
Uh,
reason for the end of that?
so yeah, I've been doing it since my first ever episode was in 2016. I
Mm.
think it's April 2016. So yeah, about 9 years now. So um, the reason, I mean, like kind of what I was saying earlier with, it was getting very repetitive, and for me, I just didn't find any motivation to click to go live doing it, just because I've been doing it a long time, as much as I enjoy uh, doing the stadiums, it just got to a point where sometimes everything comes to an end at some point, and I feel like the Minecraft Stadium community is great. It's definitely growing, but if I want to progress the YouTube channel, I'm going to have to change up the content, um, because there's only so far I can go with the stadiums, and I don't want to be known as a stadium guy, because I feel like I'm much more than that. Um, and yeah, I mean there are some stadiums that I wish I did, like the Bernabeu, never got to do that, and with the Bayern Munich Stadium as well, Allianz Arena, never did that one as well. So a few that I wish I did, but it just got to a point where, like I say, I just didn't have any motivation to do it. Didn't have any motivation to click the go live button, and that's why there's been a bit of lack of streams in recent years, because it's just been I mean, because I'm not doing it for the views.
Mm.
Because if I wanted to do it for the views, I'd keep doing it. Because I mean, I think the most recent Anfield has almost got 1,000 views, if not got 1,000 views. Um, but everything comes to an end, and yeah, I just feel like now's the perfect time to end it and then move on and try something new.
Yeah. So I want to say this real quick. Even though I don't like football, I am insulted that you did not decide to do the nearest stadium to me, which is MKM. What the fuck?
I'm so sorry. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
I only actually, literally that question there or that joke literally came up on the way back from Hull. I was like, right, literally when you go from Hull to here, you literally pass MKM on the train. So I was like, oh my god, I should ask Liam why the fuck he's not done MKM. What the fuck? Uh,
Well, it was on it was the next one I was going to do actually. Yeah, it was next on my list, but I just decided to end it. So just have that in mind. I was going to do that one next.
To be honest, I wouldn't have blamed you. I don't like football, but from all I fucking hear every time I go to the fucking gym or swimming is legitimately, oh my god, Hull is so shit at the moment, but I'll still fucking support them. It's like, it's like, even though I don't
Yeah,
care about football, the amount of people who keep saying to me, oh my god, how dare we? I know this guy I know, good friends with him. He's a massive Hull fan. I'm like, did you win? And he's like, no. And I think there was like a full 6 week streak. That's the one of asking him. He was like, nope. I was like, why do you still support them then? And they're like, I don't care if they lose. They're my team. I'm like, okay, okay. But
I
it
work
was.
with. I used to work with a Hull fan, and every time I'd ask him about Hull, he's like, "Yeah, don't even ask." This, yeah. I'm like, "Is it going that bad?" He's like, "Yeah, just don't bother." I'm like, "No, fairs, man, fairs."
Mm. So obviously you're a huge fan of Minecraft, and I know you're a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid. I want to know about that. And as
Yes,
you've been playing Last of Us recently. Um, but uh,
yes.
what? But who or what was the reason why you got into gaming? And what was your first ever console? Like mine was just my dad. He was a huge gamer, and my first console was an N64. What was yours?
From early memory, it would be my first ever console. I mean, it might be either or, but I think it was a PS2.
Hmm.
Um, I think it was a PS2, and then I got a PSP, and then a,
Classic.
then a PS3. I feel like it's basically my family's always been PlayStation, so
Hmm.
yeah, I think PS2. And the reason I've been a gamer is because well, ever since I've been young, my dad used to always play games. Like he'd be playing like Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 5, World at War, and I don't know how I was. 2007, 2008, so I'd have been about 6, 7 years old. I was playing before that, but I kind of came on to playing games a lot with Call of Duty World at War. I used to play on my dad's account all the time, and I'm going to tell you the origins. Like, you should play that. But I used to play my dad's name all the time. It's like, Liam, you need to get yourself your own PlayStation account. So I was like, all right, create one for me then. And we were just kind of thinking because with usernames on PlayStation, you couldn't like have any spaces in it. You kind of had to be a bit creative with how your name was going to be on PlayStation. So um, I was quite good at a young age from playing games like Call of Duty, and I was coming to get you. I was coming to kill you in the game. I was gonna get you. You're gonna go down. And I was like, you know what? And my dad was like, yeah, that's the name, Coming to Get You. And I was like, that is perfect. That is amazing. It works so well with Call of Duty, especially. And when people read it out, if I go on a live stream and they don't know me at all, and I just say hello or something like that, they'll read it in such a way I hate. They say, "Oh my God, Cmin2getcha, how are you doing?" And I'm like, well, I don't want people to think I've got a
The
rude name. Oh,
that does sound that's
but,
you should change it. You have to change it now. You can't say that and not change it. Damn. Chat
but
guys, it's official. We're announcing it now. He's changing his name to Seaman to get you.
like even like I watch a lot of Man United fan channels, and I watched United Stand, and there's a guy called Mark Goldbridge, and I became a channel member, and he said, "See men to get you. Thank you for becoming a member." And he's got like 2 million subscribers. And then, oh God, this is embarrassing. I don't want people to think I'm just coming in with a troll name. It is a legit name, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of the origins of that anyway. But yeah, I think Call of Duty on the PlayStation 3. That's when I got my name.
Mm.
Um, before that, it was on PS2. And on the PS2 was a great game called Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And let me tell you about that game. That game is the best game ever made. And I'll tell you another very interesting fact. The guy who does the Snake voice is called David Hayter. And I have spoken to him in real life, and I was a fanboy. The
Dang.
biggest fanboy. And I tell you, that was this year. That was in March this
That was
year.
recent. Oh, damn.
Yeah, the March this year, I was the biggest fanboy. I was like, oh my god, David, I love what you do. I've got this Metal Gear Solid. I put my Metal Gear Solid t-shirt. I was like, I got a Metal Gear Solid t-shirt. I love it. I met my friend for a year. We used to love playing Metal Gear Solid. But yeah, it's crazy. I love that game. And there's a remake coming out for it, Metal Gear Solid Delta, coming out in August. It's on the pre-order. Can't wait.
I did see that obviously I do. For a while they've been promoting the new one. So I remember the date got announced. I was thinking because I remember that you said. I remember when you said your favorite game was Metal Gear Solid, and I was like, and not long after they announced it, I was like, oh my god, Liam's gonna be getting so erect right now.
Oh, I think I still have the video where I was watching because me and my mate were the biggest we're very big Metal Gear Solid fans,
Hmm.
and we were watching. I think it was like State of Play. I can't remember what it was
It was
on
State
a
of Play, yeah.
PlayStation Showcase. Yeah, State of Play. And we were just like saying like because there's always been rumors around a remake, but they never seemed to be true. And we were just like, this is gonna be the year. This is gonna be the showcase when they do it. And we didn't know. Like we were just guessing, like we always do. We did this on every State of Play, but we're on a video call, and as soon as I saw the teaser where they had the forest and the frog, and I was like, this has potential. And as it came through, they revealed Snake right at the end, and I was screaming the house down. I was screaming the house down.
Yeah.
And I've got video on it. I put it on my Instagram story as well. I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the last time I got really excited for a game, and I wish I really didn't get excited for it, was when they announced Suicide Squad killed the fucking Justice League. As an Arkham fan, I was fucking hyped. Alright, same with Gotham Knights, but I was more excited because it was in the Arkham series for Suicide Squad. Played the game, the day it came out, hated it. Hated it. I was like, the gameplay was alright, it was repetitive, but it was okay. The story was, but the graphics were great. But oh my god, it was not an Arkham game. I don't. And actually, I'm someone who's played like the Arkham, all the main story ones, the spin-offs, the mobile spin-offs. That I've literally got a comic right feckin' there of Arkham Unhinged. If you think of an Arkham fan, I actually legitimately I can't find it somewhere in here, but I have a statue of the Arkham City Batman because I have the collector's edition for Arkham City. If you think of an Arkham fan, I fit that to like the top.
Yeah, I love playing the Arkham games like Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum. I grew up playing those games as well, and that is a game that is on my list to platinum. So I am looking to platinum those games. I never played that Suicide Squad game. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like I'm not ever going to play it. By the sounds of that,
You can, but it's legitimately just repeat missions after missions after missions with the odd boss fights with the Suicide Squad, not just Suicide, with the Justice League. But to actually unlock the Justice League fights, you actually have to do these repetitive missions, and it's the most brain dead shit in the world. The first opening bit of it's actually kind of fun when you actually get introduced to the Suicide Squad, but after that, it just kind of goes downhill and it's kind of shit. I would if you want to play a game that's actually like good, Gotham Knights is way fucking better. I'd recommend playing that if you haven't played it already. That game is really good because you actually get to pick who you want to be. You can be any of the the sidekicks basically. Because Batman dies. Spoiler alert.
I didn't know that.
but yeah, it's but I think the game I'm super excited for at the moment has got to be like. Well, it's rumored. It's not been announced yet. It is rumored, and that's the Resident Evil Code Veronica X remake. That's currently been rumored at the moment. I enjoyed the first one, beat it completely. I'm so excited for the new one. If eventually it comes out, like when 8 was announced, I was hyped. Though I was very scared though when I was like, oh god, they're gonna turn Chris bad because Chris kills Mia. Turned out wasn't Mia. it was Mother Miranda. I was like, fuck. But yeah, I don't really get too excited for games now because quite a few games I've got excited for have not been good. But the main game I'll probably say now at the moment that I'm really excited for is probably just, and I think you are too, if it comes out, GTA 6.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. I was just, if you didn't say that, I was about to say that.
I could see by your little smile, you're like, she's gonna say it. She's gonna say it.
Yeah, yeah. GTA 6, can't wait.
So
This time next year it'll be out. Can't wait.
So excited, so excited. Yeah. Right. So, couple more questions left. Couple more questions. I won't keep you all day. So if you Google yourself, you're known as a vlogger. However, you've not always been known as a vlogger. You've always been known for a good while until it got changed as a musician. You made music. However, you only made one song. Now, this is not about the song. This has to do with the song. You're also known for quite a few memes, calling people scrubs, and changing the word sexy into smexy. But there's one word that has always driven you, and everyone likes to refer to you as, and that is a gad. Liam,
yes.
What the fuck is a gad? And why are you the gad?
Right, so, a gad. Okay. So, you know how you've got gods?
Yes.
Right. You know they're like the elder, like they're like elite. You know they're above everybody else, every living creature in the world.
Mm-hmm.
God is here. Gad is up here. All right, and that's exactly what I am and what everybody singing that song also is, because we feel like gads. It's great. I love it.
Another part of that is, so you've answered the what is, but where the fuck did it come from?
I'll be honest, it was completely off the top of my head. So just like most things really, but with the GAD, so I got asked when I was streaming Microstadium Builds Anfield, the old version. And this was back in 2018 actually. But I was asked to do a rap, and I was like, okay, I'll do a rap, no problem at all. I got up a random non-copyrighted track on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I'll just use that one. And I completely made that song up off the top of my head right there in the moment.
Was it all
great.
What's the musical name for improv? What's it called?
Improv, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Or I don't know if that's what it's called.
There's like another musical version where freestyle. You freestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, freestyle, yeah.
My favorite bit of that though is legitimately for how many years was it? 4 or 5 years. Google referred to you as a musician.
I tried to get it changed because I could claim that section, and I claimed it if we verify my email address and verify who I am, and I claimed it, and Google changed it so you can't do it anymore, but I claimed it, and I did change it to content creator. I think it was only changed for a couple months before they stopped doing that, but I can't change it at all now. Like, all it says is vlogger. There's nothing I can do about it.
My main favorite thing as well is that picture that I was talking about earlier. Comes up when you search it up.
Yeah, I know.
There's the one in the chair, and then there's the one in the suit or in the blazer, because you're wearing I think it's a Manchester United shirt, as well as like a black blazer over it.
Yeah, no, there's some wild pictures out there. Honestly, there's some edits as well that I've seen. There's me as a broccoli and all this kind of stuff.
And you know, especially with me as a North Korean dictator, but hey.
Yeah, well, you got that one as well. There's plenty out there that you can search from if you search it up. But recently, a couple of weeks back, I went on ChatGPT and I was like, you know what? I'm going to say to ChatGPT, who is coming to get you? And I was just like, I'm really interested to see what it says. And it knew everything about me.
Oh damn!
It said his name is Liam. He does this, does custom. He has his own song called I'm a Gad, and all this kind of stuff. I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, how? And then I said, how old is Get? And ChatGPT was like, well, I'm gonna guess it's around early 20s, 21, 22. And I was like, what? How does it know? Like, how does it know?
I'm
Um,
assuming someone's probably like on somewhere put like your like stuff about you, probably a little blog up or whatever, and stuff like. Or sometimes I think Google does sometimes, especially if you think it's like, especially if you're like in like the over 10,000th range. Usually, I think that's when they're kind of like, okay, we'll write a little bit about this person. I could just picture one of the
yeah.
at Google headquarters just being like, all right, Liam, yep, he's this and he's this, and oh, here's a nice little picture of him. We're looking a little bit interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody needs to make a Wikipedia though. I can't. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we still need to make the Wikipedia. Alrighty. Obviously, I can't keep you all night, although I wish I could. Last question. I wish I would ask this earlier, but I'll ask it now. So I did a bit of research for this. Yes, I looked into you.
Nice, nice.
Be a bit weird if I didn't. I'm just trying to get these questions off the top of
Well,
my head
yeah,
with
just
no
going
fucking
off the
research.
top. Yeah.
But I noticed looking through your videos to kind of pick apart one of your videos, not to make fun of you about, but just kind of bring up. And I saw a little bit of a gem here, which you're probably like, "Oh, what
What,
did you find?"
what did you find?
It's not super interesting, but it's a little bit interesting. You made a video titled "Old Trafford Built in Fortnite." And I put this in brackets here. What was, you probably won't remember this first one, but what was the rough memory size that was? Because it was quite big. A
Uh,
rough estimate, and also how
so
long did it roughly take? 'Cause I know you had quite a few people in it, 'cause you can see it in the description. But how long did it roughly take to make, and what was roughly the memory size? Because this was back in 2019, so this was back when it first came out, and memory size was tiny. Now you can have like huge memory size. Back then, it was like that.
is it majorly improved? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to revisit it. But yeah, the memory size was to the max. It was, I think the memory you had about 100,000,
Yeah.
and I think it was on about 95k. And I had to redo basically the whole stadium to try and shorten the memory even further. So I had to make. So I did it when I started doing it. I obviously it's based off the Minecraft Old Trafford, so I would do individual blocks for each block there is in the Minecraft version, and that took me maybe 4 months to do that.
Hmm.
Um, because I binge watched Lost whilst I was doing. So I was watching Lost on my second monitor, and I was doing it on my first monitor. So that kind of gave me motivation to do it. But another reason why I did it in the first place, and it hasn't been released to the public because when I went to revisit it, maybe later in the year, it had over exceeded the memory, so I just couldn't do it. I was like, "Wow, this sucks."
Hmm.
Because they keep changing the memories for many different things back then. So 1 second, well, like the memory for a certain block would be maybe 5, and then the next they'd make it 10, and I'm like, well, it's just going to over exceed their memory now, isn't it? So I couldn't release it. But another one of the main reasons I did that, I built it an Old Trafford in Fortnite, is because I was also in contact with Manchester United at the time, and they'd seen it because I sent them it, and they were in contact with some people at Epic Games about it. So it was a big thing because Man United wanted to do some content around it. They wanted to involve some players, football players, playing the map. So I had to try and do some mini games for it, but I just couldn't in the end because of the memory. And I was like, well, if you're in contact with Epic Games about it, maybe you can get them to allow me to have a bit more memory. You know what I'm saying? Um, but unfortunately, nothing ever came of it because
Hmm.
the social media guy that was doing it left the job, so nothing came of it in the end. But maybe I might revisit if the memory's a lot better. I still have it saved on my account, so if the
Yeah.
memory's better, I
One
could maybe
thing,
look at
one
getting it
thing I'd
out.
recommend doing if you ever do decide to go back to it is UEFN is now a thing, which is basically just
Yeah,
Unreal Engine, but where you just do Fortnite. It's a little bit easier than Unreal Engine. Like as a game developer myself, I kind of know how it works. I've tested Unreal Engine in Fortnite. I just don't have credit code, so I can't really release it.
yeah,
But but obviously it's quite easy to learn, especially UEFN. There's a few some videos out there by Mustard Plays and all that. I feel like, and the memory, especially with that, is quite big. But it's only that you can obviously import stuff that's not even in the game. So you could actually get like the Manchester United logo and actually put it in the map, and actually have that as like a picture that you could have and stuff. to have in the game. So instead, because I know in the original one, it was literally just like the Fortnite adverts and stuff on the barrier around it. But yeah, but
Yeah, interesting.
Fortnite creative has changed a lot since like you built that map.
Yeah, I mean, that was in the early days of creative that. So yeah, been a long while. I'm gonna have to revisit it now that you mentioned it, and
Yeah, I was
I'll
just
see if it's
looking.
salvageable.
I was just looking
Salvageable.
through and I was like, holy shit. I watched a video and I was like, damn, this looks good. And I saw, and a few, I recognized everyone who was involved in it, which was, I think, Ben, Memory or Liam, and your mum and your dad. And
Yeah,
I was like, I know all these people. And I was like, damn.
yeah. No, I know
But yeah.
they're all obviously close to me,
Mm.
and they have little bits in there. I mean, my dad was he used to do a lot of Fortnite creative maps back in the day.
Oh, I've
Um,
joined your dad in a few of his creative
yeah,
maps and I've tested some of them. And
so
your dad's
he did
really
help
good
me
at
with that.
creative.
Yeah, he did help me with that, and he was going to help with the game modes and things like that. But it was just too much memory in the end, so nothing came of it. But
Mm.
maybe I'll have a look into it, see if there's anything I can do with surrounding it. Really.
Yeah, alrighty. I think that is it. I think that was pretty fun. If there's anything you would like to also say just before we.
Yeah. No. Well, thank you for having me on the podcast. Good luck for the future. I'm glad to
Thank you.
be the first guest ever. Come on the,
Yeah, I've
and this is my first
got a
podcast.
few
So
names lined up. Well, two at the moment, and that was you. So one at the
there
moment
you go.
now. But yeah, but that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed Liam. All his stuff will be in the link in the description below. I don't think I need to shout him out much, but I'll do it anyway. You know.
Oh,
See if we
thank
can
you.
get
Thank
him
you.
to see if we can get him a play button. That'll probably sit next to little Spider-Man over here, but
Oh, I would
you know.
love one of them.
But that's gonna do it, right? While you've been talking, I've been listening off, like kind of dashing my questions and my notes over here. But thank you all for watching. If you guys want to watch Liam and want to watch any Minecraft stuff, go check him out. Great guy. But that's gonna do it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Good.